a brand new episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm Luscious Barbie, and I'll be guiding you through today's episode. I'm so excited to present today's guests. On today's episode, we have Carol Hampton with the Day Catering and DJ Magic. And now, the moment that we've all been waiting for. The men in the kitchen, connecting the dots from entertainment to food, giving us wisdom every day. Give it up for our host, Ricky Booker.
Welcome back to a brand new episode In Your Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm your host, Ricky Booker. There are so many things in the world that brings us together. Good food, little conversation does it every time. And In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers, we love feeding your soul. Today's guest, she's a party stylist, owner of Full Service Catering, and also party planning service, named The Date. Let's give a warm welcome for Carol Hampton. Hello, how you doing? Pretty good. Good to have you. Come on in here.
Thank you.
I met this young lady at the restaurant. She came in with a couple friends. What was her name? Ashley?
Alicia
and
Rob.
Rob. Mm-hmm. That's right. And that's been maybe a month ago.
Yes.
And they had an interesting story, and they told me what they were. They were entrepreneurs, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna have each one of y'all on the show, and I picked you first.
Thank you.
Because you're catering. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that too at the sit down. But one thing I always want to know when people that cook, I always have a question that I asked. Have you had any disasters during catering time or being late for catering because you had a disaster in the kitchen?
Oh, yes. So, disaster it wasn't so much late, but it was what I did with a particular recipe. Mm-hmm. And that was dressing for Thanksgiving. And it was young in the formation of me catering, and I used Jiffy cornbread to make Thanksgiving dressing. And when I tell you that was the most mushiest, the worst, you pick it up and I don't care how long you bake it, mm-hmm. It's still gonna come out with it gooey. And so that was one of my sisters still remind me every Thanksgiving. Y'all remember when Carol made that dressing? And mm-hmm. So that was my disaster.
I'm gonna tell you this. Last week I had the comedian Rudy Rush on the show. Mm-hmm. We talked a little bit about hood breakfast. I make dressing with Jiffy cornbread. I make a hood dressing, so that's a hood dressing for me. But anyway, that ain't too much of a disaster because I always make it. Man, I don't know what it is. It's just Jiffy cornbread tastes better for me on that. I hadn't been able to make real cornbread, so I'm gonna tell y'all now. That's my hood dressing with Jiffy cornbread. It's
wow, well, I'm gonna have to try yours because when I tell you I don't like sweet dressing, mm-hmm. So the fact I'm gonna go ahead and give you with that. It has to be good. It's from you, okay?
Yes, it is. With that. What is the favorite thing if somebody allowed you to cook something and just said, okay, surprises on the menu for catering? What's your favorite thing to prepare for catering?
It's a brisket, but it's not a smoked brisket. It's an oven-baked brisket. And when I tell you, folks just lose their minds over it because most of the time when you do a brisket, it's smoked. But when you do it in the oven, it just takes on a whole nother taste. So think about your grandmother's Sunday roast stepped up like 3 notches. And that's what you get with a oven-baked brisket.
So now I know I need that because I love a good roast, but with brisket like that, I bet you that's amazing.
It is.
We're going to talk about that at the sit down too.
Okay.
But in time being, we're going to go back and see what Luscious got going on at the restaurant.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Luscious Barbie, right here at Breakfast Brothers Express ribbon cutting with Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce. And when I tell you we are at the Cloud Kitchen, you never know where I'm going to be, but 921 West Commerce Street. Just check out all of the people are already here. The food truck is here. The food is here. We are here, and we are ready for you to walk through the doors. And you already know, until next time, let's go.
All right, we're here at the sit down with Miss Carol Hampton, and she ordered catfish fried rice.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Miss Carol, are you ready for us to feed your soul?
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah, she's actually been to Breakfast Brothers before, too. Like I said earlier, that's when I originally met her.
Yes.
Go ahead. I always let everybody get prepared and do their thing. I'm going to let you do it.
Okay. Okay.
It's always that first test. Dun, 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 dun.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that what you had when you was at Breakfast Brothers? Mm-hmm. You had something different?
I had something different. So every time I try to come to your place, I want to get something different. Right. I want to try to taste everything. I had not had your catfish before, and it sure did not have the fried rice. Mm-hmm. This is, oh my God, it's seasoned so well.
I know who talked to you than that. When you was going over your briefing with Luscious Barbie, I guarantee you that's her go-to. Catfish fried rice.
Mm-hmm. This is amazing. Oh my God.
But look, we got her. She hooked again. She'll be back, y'all.
Of course.
No, but it's real interesting about you being in the cooking business too, and the catering business. I wanna, I see that by seeing the article in Essence, what this made you decide to start your career from that. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I've always loved cooking. My grandmother had a restaurant at one time, and she always cooked everything from chocolate pies to hamburgers, whatever, always. But it was the year I turned 40, and there was an article in Essence magazine by Susan Taylor, and it said 40 things women should be doing or done by the age of 40. And I remember the number like it was it was 13 because that's my birthday, June 13th. And it said...
It's my daughter's birthday, too.
Oh, wow, Gemini's, yay. Yeah. So it says you should have a additional stream of income. She said if it was nothing else but selling your grandmother's sweet potato pies, at least that'll fill up your gas tank.
Wow.
And I said, okay, Carol, what can I do? What can you do, Carol, to get some more money coming? At that time, I was in the insurance industry. And I said, well, everybody always liked my food when I cook. They always want me to make something for them. I just said, you know what? Let me just see if I put a dollar sign on it. Will they still come? And sure enough, I put a dollar sign on it, and I've been catering ever since.
That kind of happened to me, too, because I've done everything in the world. I made a living off of it. I tell this story all the time. And my kids used to always say that too. And I used to make stuff up for family gatherings. We used to have a 4th of July event that I did, all the barbecue. Thanksgiving we did a full-blown feast. And then if it was certain things that my kids wanted me to make, I would make. So I had an interest in cooking at home for the family and none of that, but not for the world. And then finally when I did it, similar to what you're saying, it happened.
Yes.
And with that being said, explain a little bit about what's a party stylist when it comes to food.
Party stylist. That means it's part of the presentation. It's one thing to cook food and serve it and people like it. But really what catches people when they first walk into an event is the setup.
Right.
So I'm going to, just like this is plated perfectly. But you want to have that ooh-ah factor.
Right.
And so if you get them on presentation, and the food is good, I'm telling you, folks their guests will lose their mind, our clients lose their mind. So it's all about plating, how you set things up, the type of silverware you use, the type of chafers you use. Because my goal is to never use aluminum anything. Right. But sometimes you do because there are drop-offs and you're not there for the full service. But if I'm doing a full service, you're getting my best of the best. You're getting china plates, you're getting real silverware, you're getting glassware. So that is what I call a party stylist in regards to catering.
And you're right, we in the world now, when it comes to social media, the first thing they do is take a picture and put it out. So at the end of the day, if somebody else is posting your brand, you're actually right. You want it to be perfected.
Yes.
And the party stylist, because I was looking into it, not thinking about the style of way the plating and the silverware and all that would be. So that makes sense. Meaning when it comes to the party stylist and when it comes to your catering and things that you've done, what's the meaning behind the name?
Oh, the day catering. So I was looking for a name. I had a couple, but I just really wasn't feeling it. But then I thought about it one day. No matter what client comes my way, the first question I'm asking is, what's the date? Because I have to see if I'm available and whatever. So I'm like, the date, I'm always asking that question. What's the date? I don't care what are you doing in any kind of entertainment. What's the date? Yeah. And so I said, okay, it's the date.
So that's what so that was simple. So it became a brand. How long you been doing it? How long has it been around now?
I've been around about 20 something years, but really went full time probably in the last 10 years that I really just, didn't make it as, hashtag side hustle. I really made it where this is my 100% income. It comes from this catering business. Right.
So you had them 20 years. So name some of the obstacles in that business to get you where you are today, some of the lessons.
Yeah, some of the lessons, and there've been some good ones. It's time. sometimes you're running late or whatever, and for me, that can be really an excuse for catering, because a lot of times people have rented out venues, and you really have to be timely because they have to be out at a certain time. And if we're running late, that means the client may have to pay more money. So learning to prepare earlier and be more timely, and that was a big learning curve, because I have not been the most timeliest person in life. So that was it. And then another thing has been a challenge is, and you probably know this, is that hookup, that discount.
Oh my God!
If I hear I want the family discount one more time, if I hear that one more time, and then I have to explain to them, listen, this is how I support myself and my daughter. I have a daughter that's 25, and at the time, she was still here. She hadn't went off to college or anything. So it's just, this is my bread and butter, and then you want a discount on top of that, but you want me to bring all my pizzazz and my charm and my parties and the good food,
right?
But then you want that discount, and then now it's just even crazier, because you know what food prices are these days.
It's insane.
It is just ridiculous of what food costs now.
I say this all the time. In catering, there's no more $20 and $25 a person no more. That's out the window. The average is $30-$35 a person, and they say, man, that's expensive. Well, can you take the chicken off? I said, I can take off whatever you want me to take off, but it's still gonna be $35 a head, because they don't understand. You preparing the food, you putting it together, you bringing chauffeurs, you setting it up. Even if they come and pick, the labor costs to that. They don't see what you have to do to put all those things together. So that if I could say that too, that's the biggest thing when it comes to catering, is getting them to understand that the serious cost behind it.
And so one example I always give when they get to that point, I said, when the last time you went to Chick-fil-A and you bought a number one, how much did that cost you? More than likely you probably spent $12 just on number one at Chick-fil-A. Now imagine, now you want me to do the same for, I can't even do it on this scale. Yes, they can afford $12, but you're asking me to come in with my team and just really, really do this wonderful service, and you want it at, like you said, right. $20, $25 a person.
Now, do you offer a venue with that, or they have their own venues when they come in?
No, they normally have their venues, but then because I've been in business so long, I'm always suggesting. They say, well, do you have a venue you have in mind? So I will provide that information, and then sometimes I even execute the whole event. Okay. I even go into that, but then I also work with other vendors. If they need a cake, if they need a photographer, if they need a production team,
right.
all that kind of stuff, I will refer them to those vendors. And those vendors, I work with them over the years, and I don't get a cut from any of that. That is just really, really how each vendor
right.
that I work with each other.
Right.
And so I just want to promote you just like I want you to promote me.
Okay. Well, tell everybody right now where they can get in touch with you if they want some of the catering and service that you offer. Sure.
It's The Date Catering. My website is thedatecatering.llc.com. I'm on all social medias, The Date Catering.
The Date. I know how people say it's D-A-T-E, not day. It's The Date.
Yes,
Catering,
The Date.
LLC.com. Thanks again, Ms. Hampton, for coming on, and much more success, and keep going with that catfish fried rice.
I can't. Let me tell you something. I'm about to put this in a to-go box and take a shower and get in my bed.
That's all right. It's yours to go.
And enjoy this with both elbows up.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Stay tuned, everyone. We got DJ Magic coming up next. Our next guest, he's a legendary DJ here in the DFW area. Been around a long time, a brother from another mother, and also a funeral director. I found that out later throughout the years. Let's give a warm welcome for Adrian DJ Magic.
What's up, man?
We've been rocking for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The music and down to the food and all of that, man.
Yeah, man.
This is
Throughout
crazy.
the year, I didn't know you cooked back then.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. Because I did all my cooking at home. I never wanted to do it for a living. Wow. I wanted to, with the cars, the custom cars, manage the artists. I was in the music real tough, which I'm still in the music real tough. That's my love of my life.
Yeah,
but man, it turned into this though. My kids used to always tell me, man, Daddy, you need to open up a restaurant. I never wanted to, but when we put that little trailer behind the club, it's a wrap.
Yeah, that was
you
it.
see what happened.
I remember you text me one day when you first started doing it. Man, what they got cooking over Stones on the V Live?
Yeah.
Actually was. You were trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah,
Well, we're gonna
man.
talk a little bit about you, man, and,
Okay.
and what it is that you got going on. But I always ask this question every time I bring somebody on here. When it comes to the cooking skills, do you do any cooking at home? Who's the cook?
Man, I'm basic.
You basic?
Yeah, I'm basic. I can't do no lasagnas and
No bacon.
Give me the
none of
box.
that? Okay. What's your favorite go-to then?
Man, honestly,
Yeah.
I do the short ribs.
Oh, the short ribs?
Yeah, I can do the short ribs.
Okay, I'm gonna have
I
to
got
check
my own
it out.
special little sauce, and
Yeah.
we're gonna bottle it up.
He keep it at this level. He do the short. No, it's all good though, man. I always got to go back and tell the story. When I first met DJ Matchy, he was one of the mix show DJs at 979, and actually one of the personalities too. He used to do weekends.
Yeah, Friday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And radio is real tough. I just heard the story, so you're gonna have to tell me the story,
Oh, man.
the real true story, because he was real personable by putting local artists on and playing their music. He was real stubborn about going outside of the playlist guidelines, and I think it caught up to him.
It tried to. It did try to. But it's a funny story to why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I'm on the air.
Right.
And everything went blank. So we in the red. So it's dead air for like 3 minutes. So I called both engineers, no answer. I called John Candelaria, who was
Which
the
was
program director at the
director then.
time, no answer. So if you ever used to be at the radio station,
You can't have dead space. You can't have dead
you
space.
can't have a dead space. And so if you ever came in the studio, it was a whole table behind us,
Right.
where all the local artists and all
Yeah.
all their music was right there.
Yeah.
And so I went and grabbed a name I knew, of course, and I put it in to try to play the instrumental, and it just so happened it was the regular track. And man, it was okay for about 2 weeks. And they say, I get called in, hey man, payola, and I said, man, I ain't got paid from nobody. I said, look, I called this person, called that person, no answer. What else was I to do?
All you was trying to do was save the dead space.
That was my plan. That's
Right.
what I thought I was doing anyway. And yeah, it just backfired.
Now I know.
for me.
That's been how long ago?
Oh God, man, I left 97.9 in 2013.
Yeah, that's been a long time. That hurt my heart. 'Cause I used to get up in Saturdays on the weekends and
It
listen
hurt
to
your
you.
heart. It hurt my heart,
Yeah.
man. And so that whole thing is just in 5 seconds, dude. It was my goal to be on the radio by 25. I did it at 23, and so it was just like within. And Big Bink called me. I never even would have known. He called me one day. He said, "Man, bro, I just want to commend you because I never thought that you was gonna do it."
Right.
Man, that weekend show had been #1 rated for over 7 months.
People. I'm telling you, I used to get up on Saturdays.
Yeah.
If I'm washing my car, whatever I was doing in the driveway, I would turn you on and listen to you because it wasn't necessarily about the music either. You just had a voice that people tuned into. And one thing we're gonna talk a little bit more at the sit down while we eat breakfast, brothers. But I want to know everything you got going on to this day, and talk a little bit about being a funeral. All right, we here at the sit down with my man DJ Magic.
Yes, sir.
He getting ready to eat his breakfast, brothers. He ordered pancakes, side of potatoes, waffles, sausage.
Man, I got
DJ Magic, are you
grits.
ready for us to feed your soul?
Sure. Unbutton his shirt.
Yeah.
Sucking it in a little bit too
Yeah,
long.
he be going over there at Breakfast Brothers.
Yes,
still.
sir.
Matter of fact, he FaceTimed me about a week ago sitting in there.
Right before I went out of town.
Yeah.
I said, man, I FaceTime. I said, man, I got to call you. I said, I'm here at least twice a month. I said, I got to call you while I'm here. And this is what I need right here, Jack.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
sir.
man, it comes to a point of time, man, it's just like, that's what we do.
Man,
Feed
that's
people
right.
soul.
Listen, but these potatoes, I don't know what y'all, these here?
Home style potatoes, we do
Hey,
all the
man.
vegetables in them, man.
Listen, brother, you don't need nothing to go on them. Knowing the
You know what I used to put
Tabasco,
on mine, though?
What you do?
I pour syrup on mine. Ooh, boy, with that syrup on them potatoes, as soon as they
See,
come
I'm
out.
flip. I do syrup, but I do Tabasco sauce too.
Oh, that's good on it, too.
Yeah, that hit.
Well, man, we're going to get right into it. You already know what Breakfast Brothers tastes like, but you can still eat
Let's talk
and
about
talk. Man, we go way back. I want to know the story on the first, how you got into the DJing, started into DJing.
Excuse me, that story is crazy. So, I actually, like I said, back in high school, is when it kind of was created. Going to a lot of house parties. That was the thing, house parties or hotel parties. Me and my little partners went to a house party. And the CD they had just kept jumping. Just kept jumping. So I'm like, man, what's going on? Went to the car, got my little, console, little CDs in it. And man, I put one slow song on. It was a wrap. After that, play something else. And man, from that point, I was booked in garages for like a whole year.
So you just knew music. That comes to the
That
point
was
where
it.
you knew how to. I mean, you say slow songs. I remember when I was growing up, house party when we was growing up, slow songs was it, brother. Them was the days that guys danced with girls.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Hands down. Now you see guys in circles together dancing.
Yeah,
whatever.
man.
But hey, we won't get on that. There's a lot of little murders going on.
I never understand it. I never understand it.
But this is the surprising thing to me. You went from DJs from the house party to radio personality at 979. And the strangest thing in the whole thing, you have to go to school and college for this. Mm-hmm. Now, what made you decide to get in, we didn't talk about that earlier in the kitchen, but become a funeral director?
Man, so that subject a lot of times comes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
With people who know me and be like, man, I didn't know you did this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So December of 2005, I literally lost my aunt who raised me. Then I lost my great-grandmother who helped raise me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I lost my great-aunt. Then I lost my great-uncle.
Man.
And then I lost my grandfather. So from December 2005 up until the first Saturday of January 2006,
Mm-hmm.
I was at a funeral. And it took for my grandfather, because it just broke me down. I literally, that broke me down so bad to where I was in my bedroom. And I don't know, back then, you had the big old square heavy duty TV.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
And so I was just so dark. Man, I laid up under the thing and just pulled the whole dresser down with the TV. I mean, it bowed right on. See, a lot of people with this dent.
Oh, still got that dent.
Yeah, the dent. So that's the permanent. It won't go nowhere. And so, man, that's just kind of where it was. And so it took for me to go to the funeral, walk in the church, look at my grandfather, come back out, all this within 3 minutes. Went to the car of the funeral director that was there at the funeral home. Hey, man, what do y'all do? And he told me about a program that they offer. And literally, that is normally just a Saturday thing. Dude, I went that next Monday. And shoot, 19 years later, I'm here.
And you've been a funeral director, you've been a funeral director for 19 years. Mm-hmm. And, I've known you for DJing the whole time, managing artists and being at the radio station, listening to you on Saturday mornings. And then, at that time when I was married, my father-in-law had passed, and we went to the service, and as soon as I walked in the door, Lord and behold, there you are. Dressed clean, suit, I'm talking about what they call casted clean.
Casted clean.
So that day he was Adrian
Shoes
Turner.
shined, everything.
He wasn't DJ Magic, he was
Yeah.
Adrian Turner. And I was like, okay, cool. He got an alter ego, which is DJ Magic, and then he got the funeral director, which is Adrian Turner. Tell me the longevity of balancing entertainment and being a director at the same time. Because, if you DJing Friday night, normally funerals is Fridays and Saturdays. How'd you...
Man, I'm going to be honest. I worked at one funeral home for 12 years. And the firm I'm at now, I've been there 7 years this past November. And I'll be honest, man, so at the first funeral home, every Saturday we had a 6:30 meeting, a.m.
Whew.
6:30. And now it's 8 o'clock. So from the beginning of the first funeral home to now, I literally am the only one who is allowed to be 30 minutes late to the meeting. Because they have to understand.
Yeah, the entertainment.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The money's good, the benefits are better, right? But they know that DJing is first. DJing is my heart. You can't pull it from me. I'm 26 years in with entertainment. And so, and not even that, I'm 40 years old, so I'm really born in it because my father, is a blues singer.
Okay.
R.L. Griffin is my father.
Okay,
and so, I'm born into it. And so it's just, it was a natural thing, so you just can't pull me away from it, And
No,
so,
you're not, and then you can't even pull the building. RL's
Yes, sir.
Blues Palace is still there.
Yes,
how
sir.
How long that's been there?
Man, Dad has been there 53 years.
Whew, a lot of Southern soul artists that went through there. It's almost like the Apollo of Dallas.
The only black-owned blues club ever. That actually owns the building. Everybody else have been storefronts. Yeah.
Well, man, brother, I'm glad we tried to connect this 2 or 3 times. He finally got a chance to where he came and done the show. And
it was late today, boy. I was trying to get here, man. I was like, oh my God.
We're gonna get back to the funeral, but I'm gonna say this. You remember what they said on Boys in the Hood? You want to see a dead body? No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Everybody.
It's not nothing in the truck, I promise.
It's just a joke.
My truck is empty.
No, but Magic Man, tell everybody how they can keep up with you and if anything that you got going on. Tell them how they get in touch with you.
Man, listen. On the DJ entertainment side, we're still doing this thing. I don't know when this is going to air, but I'm actually, the promoter of the Glorilla show that's coming March 19th.
Okay.
We have the official after party, the only after party. I won't mention the venue. They can just look it up and you'll see where it's at.
Okay.
But outside of that, all social media, outlets, social media, Facebook, Adrian Turner or DJ Magic. Instagram, I am DJ Magic 214. Twitter, I don't do TikTok. I'm gonna let them have TikTok, but Snapchat, all that, I got all that. But other than that, man, I'm just really trying to be motivated. And it's funny, and I meant to answer this question earlier, but as it relates to the funeral side and the future of it, I chose just literally 4 days ago to open up my own funeral home. Awesome. And so it's gonna be based. It's gonna be based in Mesquite. It's only one black funeral home in Mesquite.
Okay.
But I mean, Mesquite holds so much big of a black population. My hometown is Forney, but the only reason why I didn't want to do it in Forney is because of the politics.
Right.
So I chose Mesquite, and that's what we're gonna do. So you'll be looking at us for about the third quarter of this year.
Well, congratulations. I didn't know that. I'll bring you back on the show and we talk about that and launch that and all the ideas that you got going on there, man. Keep up with all the success and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks again for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, man.
And if you want something on that you seen today that DJ Magic had, we have it on the menu at 3 locations now. First location, which was the foundation, is Arlington, Texas, 130 East Bardin Road. We open 6 days a week, close on Tuesdays, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And our news location is in Redbird, Oak Cliff area at 3704 West Camp Wisdom, Dallas, Texas. And I say this all the time, our new Breakfast Brothers Express, all across the board. Express means you get it to go, Uber Eats, DoorDash, online, flip it, rub it down, get it however you want it.
Now, where's the truck located?
Well, it ain't a truck. It's actually a to-go, a virtual restaurant. Like McDonald's, they got these virtual restaurants. All you do is pull up, order on kiosks.
Oh, word?
And order off of Uber Eats, and you get it right there then.
Oh,
the neat thing about it, when you get through DJing, if it's 4 in, you can come right by there, go right in the kiosk and order it, and we bring it out. You have a runner that bring it to you. So now you can even get Breakfast Brothers again after hours.
Oh, wow.
And that's at 921 West Commerce Street, Dallas, Texas. And the hours of that 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on Sundays, it's 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on Saturdays, it's 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. So the overnights, early a.m. So get into it, man.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know we got to get off here, but I'm a joke. Remember when you first was getting ready to do the grand opening, and I'm thinking that the location on Camp Wisdom was already open. Remember when I called you, I said, "Hey, bro, I'm on my way. I'm about to ready to pull up right now."
And then you said, "Where you at?"
I called. I said, "Man, I'm here. You ain't here no."
I said, "Yes, I am."
Yeah, yes, I am. I'm in the back right now. I said, "Man, I'm at the door. Ain't nobody up." Man, the place wasn't even over yet. He way to Arlington. I'm on Camp Wisdom. I said, "Oh man." I said, "Well, I tried. I'll come next time."
He did too. He
Yeah,
been coming
man.
ever since.